thank you for joining me. So I thought I would take you along making my new junk journal. As you might have seen, my March junk journal is full, so I urgently need a new one. So I'm gonna try to go a little bit bigger this time, and more importantly, a little bit wider, and try to make better decisions as to how many papers I'm going to include. So I'm trying to learn from what I've done wrong, so let's see if this goes any better. So I have 3 books that have covers that I'm considering using, and one is this one, which has the beautiful floral illustrations in here that I got at Goodwill sometime last year. But you see it has this gorgeous cover, so that is definitely one contender. And the second one is this one. I just found this yesterday or 2 days ago. I'm also really liking this one. It's also an English one. And the third one is this one, which is I think the biggest of them. And I am just really liking this image here, the girl and the little deer. But I'm not really feeling the red at the moment, so I think I can exclude this one. So it's really between these two, which is a tough choice in my eyes. This one is bigger. If we look at the thickness, yeah, this one is thicker as well. I'm really torn. Yeah, this one speaks to me more. I'm gonna go with my gut. I will leave that for another time. I could still use that in May or June or any month, really. So I'm gonna go with this one. So the first thing, of course, that we have to do is take out the inside. Oh, look, I didn't even see it has a very nice end paper. Oh, this book cost me €4, by the way. And I really just wanted it for the cover, because the inside is not very interesting. It's a children's story, obviously. Yeah, okay, so we start off by taking our X-Acto knife or Stanley knife and just very carefully cutting the inside out. So that didn't cut all the way through, so that was easy. So if you're looking for books to make your junk journals, what you need to pay attention to is that you see here the spine. There's some spines where the pages are glued into the book, so that's not going to work. You have to have a book where you see that the pages are separated. Like, yeah, I should have showed you that before it came out. But basically you can see there's a little bit of a gap there, which you can always see if you're able to take them out. So you always need to watch out for that. So now I just need to do it on the other side. And it's good if you don't cut into the spine, because then you've ruined it. Unless you want to make your own spine. I know a lot of people do that. Okay, so those are the insides. And now we just clean this up a little bit. Just going to cut some of these loose bits off. Doesn't have to be perfect because we're gonna cover that up anyway. Now there's a lot of different ways, of course, to make these journals, but I'm just showing you mine, and I'm no expert. I haven't done a zillion of these. I'm still fairly new to making altered book junk journals, actually. I used to do a lot of traveler's notebook inserts, but at the moment I am really, really loving the junk journaling. At the moment I can't even imagine journaling on like blank pages or or a very narrow format, like with the standard size traveler's notebooks, I still and always will love traveler's notebooks, but not for this particularly at the moment. Okay, so now we have these, and the spine is kind of frail, so I think I'm going to, yeah, and it's already kind of starting to come apart. So what I will do is I will reinforce it. So I will get something to reinforce it with and be right back. Okay, so I am just going to take the backing of one of these 12 by 12 paper pads, because I think that strength is good. I don't want too stiff or too thick because I will have to sew through it, but I also want it to have some kind of a body, so I think this will work well. So now I'm just going to try to measure how wide does it need to be, and I still want it to be able to close. So I kind of want it to go, I want to leave a little gap here between the end paper and the spine, because that will be covered up anyway. So I'm just gonna measure from about here to about here. And then the length should be pretty much the same as the end papers. So that should be here. Okay, now I'm just going to quickly trim that. Always good to keep these kind of things, you never know what you might need. So then we have this. And there we go. So that fits right in there. And I can test if we can still close it. Yeah, and that will just firm up the spine. Perfect. So I'm very happy with that. And I am just going to stick that on with my tacky glue. I'm actually going to use this side inside. It doesn't really matter. And I'm going to be very generous with the glue here because I really want that to hold well. It's probably going to squish out from all sides now. Oops. Yeah, there we go. But it's no big deal. It's going to turn transparent anyway. And now it would probably be a great idea if I would just put some books on it or something, just to make it stay flat for the moment. So I will be right back. Okay, so I just moved that out of the way and put some books on it to let that glue set a little bit. And so this is the inside of the book, and I'm going to need this. Oh, that's a cute image. I didn't even see that. Oh, I could totally use this. Okay, very nice. I will use this. Ha! Are there any more? I think that was the only colored image in here. Oh, no. I didn't even see it. Oh, look! Aw, totally gonna use these. There's another one. Hey. Okay, anyway, sorry, getting distracted here. So in order for me to decide what I'm gonna put in for the signatures, what kind of papers, I think it's a good idea to go through my last one, which is this March one, to see what I liked and what I didn't like, because of course I'm trying to get better at this and improve, so I have to analyze what was good in here and what I didn't enjoy so much. So what I loved is having like these kind of plant book pages, and I loved having various sizes. What I did not like was having thicker card material, kind of like this. I love the maps. Just, yeah, any regular book page was good. Here again we have the thicker sewn together pages. I didn't like that as much. What else? Plain pages are fine. I can always stick stuff over that. Pockets, I don't think I need to make, because if I want any, I can put them in afterwards. Yeah, this is another one of the thick ones. I ended up not doing anything on it, and I don't really like having these thick ones in my book, so I don't think I'll be doing any of that. And the rest was fine. So I think it should be a mixture of blank pages and pages with something on it, some kind of interest. Could be plant books, could be other materials. Okay, so that is helpful. So now I will just gather some papers that might work for this journal, and this is a bit more of a challenge because this size is a lot larger than what I'm used to, so we'll see how that goes. Okay, so I'm still working on the pages, and I just wanted to show you. So I will definitely be using some of the original book pages, because I think that's always nice to keep some of those in there. So these were the two end pages, which are really cute, which I really want to have in there. Then this was the title, and this was the first page, like a dedication. And then there's some black and white and colored papers that are blank on the other side. I'm not sure about this one, to be honest, but we'll see. But they also had some cute black and white images there, so I will be using those. Look, that's really cute. And this one, of course. So I want to use those. And then I just pulled a few more things that I just found, and that I also actually got very recently at the Goodwill. So this is a plant book, which doesn't look very interesting from the outside, but I really like these pages. Like these illustrations, and love the fact that everything is in green. Also the font is in green. So I will be pulling a few of these pages. Then I found this one, and the only reason why I got this was because of the font of this one. I love this typed font, so I will definitely be including a few of these pages. Then I found this was €1. I found these like dividers, and they're actually a very nice smooth paper, and I thought, why not include these as well? We'll see. I've never done that before. And then I couldn't believe I found these. I'm so happy. These are like some bookkeeping forms. They have like markings and holes up here, and I love these. I always see like these ledger papers in videos, and I've never seen any before, so this is the first thing I find, which is kind of in that kind of, you know, the same area, and I totally love these, so I'll be including some of these. Then they had some of these vintage like mailing pockets, which I like as well, so I think I'm just gonna include one and fold it so through the middle, and then I will decide. I could make a tuck spot out of this piece here and put something in here. I will figure that out once it's in the book. And then there's this one, which also doesn't look so interesting from the outside, but it has some nice pages, and I actually, sorry, it's a bit heavy. I like these kind of pages. I think they make very nice journal pages. They have a lot of photos in here, which I'm not into photographs, but they have a lot of these, so I think this will be good to use. So I'll take oh look, they have these as well. These are nice. Okay, so I'll take a few of these out and see what else I can find, and then I'll be right back. Okay, I also want to be using some coffee dyed paper. And then I found this magazine about Germany from 1967, which I got from the lovely Angel. And I found some more pages in here that I think I will use. So there's this one and this one. This is a cool one. It's an old map of the River Rhine. So I definitely am going to use this. Then this one I really liked because of the handwriting. Yeah, so that's that. And I'm thinking that might actually be enough because, yeah, because I'm trying not to overdo it this time. I think it might actually be too much already, because I don't want it to be as thick as the last one. So I should probably count the last one, how many pages I had, just so I can kind of reference. And I think I'm going to be doing 4 signatures this time. I had 2 last time. So I'll make 4 signatures with less pages in each signature. So I will be right back. Okay, I actually just checked my last junk journal, and it had 3 signatures with only 5 pages each. But of course it was a bit thinner. So for this one, maybe I'll do 4 signatures with, so I had 15 in total, but the spine now is a bit wider. So maybe if I stick to the same number, which is not possible because I need an even number with 4 signatures. I could do either 16, but that's too much. I think I will do 4 times 4 would be 12. Maybe I'll do that. I'll do 4 signatures with 4 papers each, which doesn't seem like a lot at all. And there's a lot of pages I won't be able to use. Okay, so let me try to put those together. Oh yeah, and here's an envelope. I actually wanted to use this envelope as well, but maybe I'll just do that as a tip-in. Maybe that's better. This is from a Happy Mail. And actually, there's some other Happy Mail pages that I wanted to use. These are some French school book pages from the lovely Bia. I actually want to use these too. And I wanted to use some music pages as well. I forgot those now, but I won't be able to do that. So, oh dear. Oh yeah, here's some more school book pages. Oh, this would be cool to use as well. Oh, I have to use this one. So I'll use this one. And maybe one of these. Oh God, these are so cool. Okay, I'll use one of these as well. I don't know how I'm gonna do all of this now. It's too much. Okay. Yeah, let me play around a little bit because I don't want to bore you with this part. Maybe I will just fast forward it, but keep the camera on. Before I speed this up, I just want to say, so this is one of the original book pages, which I'm going to use as a guide so that I know I cannot go over this size for a page. So for these two, this is upside down. Yeah, actually go like this. For these two and for these two, I don't want to turn them sideways and fold them because then I wouldn't really see the images. So what I'm going to do is take my reference page, which I cannot find now. Here. No, was this it? Yeah, I think this was it. So what I'm gonna do is just cut a piece off and then just glue it onto, like in the middle of these two. That will join the two, and that way I can use them in my signature. So, and I'm using the original book page because it has the same color, and also because, I mean, it's always nice to use the original pages. Okay, this color is not cooperating. But also because it has the exact correct height, so I don't have to worry about fiddling around with doing that. There's one. And then we need another one for the second one. Just gonna cut a straight edge, and then we'll cut the actual paper, the actual strip. Now I'm going to fold these in half. Maybe should have done them a little bit wider actually. Let's see how it goes. So I'm just folding them lengthwise in half. Really should have made them wider, because then we can just glue them in here, right? That's the idea. Okay, we'll just do it like this and hope for the best. So I'm just gonna use glue stick, nothing fancy. Now it would probably be good to do the same thing here. Do I need it or not? I'm so indecisive. No, I'm just gonna do it like this. If I need to reinforce it, I can then maybe do it later by putting some washi over it or something. But I think that should be okay. Okay, so these are my 4 signatures, but I'm sure some of these are going to be too wide, so I'll have to cut them down a little bit, but we'll see that once I have the cover. So I would say now let's move back to working on the spine of the cover. So in the meantime, it has dried somewhat. I can still feel it's damp here, but that's okay. It will dry. But it's dry enough to keep working on it. Now I have this, I don't know what this is called actually. I found this at my local art store. It's, yeah, and it's only in French. So it's like a, almost like a fabric tape, I would say. It's very, very strong. And I don't know what it's meant for, but I find it perfect for gluing spines. If you don't have this, I would just take any strong tape that you have at hand. But maybe you can find like a, I don't know, I guess you can find like bookbinding tapes or fabric tapes either in your local craft store or on Amazon for sure. So since this is not really wide enough because I want it to cover both of these parts as well, I'm gonna do 2 strips. So this is really very strong. Once that's down on your book, there's no way of moving it without tearing it. So you have to be careful to kind of do it straight the first time, which I'm horrible at because I'm not good at doing things exact, but I will do what I can. Okay, and then I just cut it off here. Okay, so that's one. And yeah, great, I already have a wrinkle. Okay. Now I'm just gonna brandish it or burnish it. Burnish it, I think it's called. Here where the crease is. Yeah, that's perfect. And then we do the same thing on the other side and make this tape overlap so that it's sturdy. And this tape is actually pretty expensive. I don't remember exactly what it cost, but I remember it was expensive, but it's so worth it. Okay, so I want these overlapping just a little bit. Perfect. So now we have a strong spine. So that is very important. Now, it would be nice, of course, to cover this up because this is not very pretty. If we can find, yeah, so we have this one, right? We could just use this and glue that over it. Okay, I am happy with this. So that's our inside. Now we can check how these will fit in here. I'm wondering if I could make a 5th signature actually now. There we go again, making it too bulky from the start. But it seems like I have plenty of space, doesn't it? Seems. What do you think? No, that's not enough. No, I'm gonna make a 5th signature. The next step is to make my holes in the spine for the sewing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure the width of the spine. Then I'm going to divide it by 6 equal parts so that I have 5 lines. Or what I might just do, since it's an uneven number, I might just see where the middle is and then kind of eyeball it where the 2 on either side will be. I think I might just do that. And once I have those holes in, I'll make the holes in the signatures correspondingly, and then I'm gonna sew them in. I'm gonna start by making a template for the spine, so that I can then make the holes in the signature the same. It's not exactly the same height, but it will do. So I'll just cut it here. Yeah, that will do. And now I have learned that it is always important to write where the top is, because otherwise, once you start putting it somewhere and you don't know which side is up and down, for your signatures, if you then put it the wrong way around, the holes might not match up exactly with the holes here. So that's why that's important. I've learned that the hard way. So, yeah, let's figure out where the middle. So I have my 5 lines, and now I'm gonna do 3 holes per signature. So in this case, I will actually find out where the middle is. Okay, that's my middle hole, and then the other hole doesn't really need to be in the exact center. I'm just gonna do it the same distance from the middle. So basically, in all these places is where I need to make the holes on the cover, on the spine. And then for the signatures, I also know now the distance of the holes to match. So I will go ahead and punch the holes and speed that up again. Okay, so here you can see my 3 lines of holes, and they actually look pretty straight, which I'm happy about, because that doesn't always happen. Okay, and now I'm just going to set this aside and fold this lengthwise right where one of the lines are. So that will make it easy for putting the holes in the signatures. Okay, now I'm gonna hold these with some clamps. Just want to make sure that they are positioned where I want them to be. Yeah, since these are all pretty much the same size, it's pretty easy. Okay, so I chose this green as a thread to sew with. This is a wax thread, and I got these from, guess what, AliExpress. I will link them below. But you don't actually need to have wax thread. You can just use a regular, like a embroidery thread, for example. They will work just fine. I've never had a problem with them tearing or anything. But I have these, so I'm gonna use these because I think the color kind of works well with the cover. So in the way I measure how much thread I need is I do 2.5 the length of the book. So I'm just gonna go 1, 2.5. You could even do a little less than a half, and that will work. So now I'm just gonna thread this through my needle. Okay, so I'm starting with the first signature, and hopefully the holes are matching up. That would be great. Yeah, it looks like they are. Okay, so I'm just gonna start by going from inside out from the middle, then putting it in my first middle hole, pulling it through, leaving a tail, coming in from the bottom. You could also come in through the top hole, it doesn't matter. I kind of always tend to go in the bottom first hole, and coming through the signature. Making sure you pull that tight. Okay, now you go all the way to the top hole, go through the signature, and then through the spine, top left hole. Just kind of hard with this needle because the tip is kind of wide, but it's okay. Make sure to not lose the end of your thread, and then come through the middle again, through the same hole that you came out at the beginning. Now I'm gonna come out on the other half of the thread, and the most important part here is to pull really tight because you don't want to lose signature. So you just pull, and then make sure it's really tight and not wiggling around. Just keep pulling. So see, that wasn't good yet. Yeah, you want one thread coming out on either side of the middle thread, and then all you do is you make a double knot. Sometimes I make a triple knot, but I think a double one is fine. And now you can check again. Yeah, it seems to be tight. Very good. And now you can either cut them fairly short and leave them as is, or some people like to attach or just glue some, I don't know, hearts or something on the ends, like you would make 2 hearts and then glue the thread in the middle. That's also very cute. And if you want, you can also leave these a little longer, so you'd have them a little more than 2.5. And then, well, this one is actually long enough, but this one isn't. Then you can do the same thing to put something on the end, or even beads. You could put beads on the end, and then you can leave them hanging on the bottom so that they're like little charms or something coming out of the book, which is cute too. But I didn't do that, so I could still do it for one of the other signatures. Nah, I don't want to. Maybe in another journal, not for this one. So I'm just gonna cut these quite short so they're not in the way when I journal. So that's our first signature in. You can remove the clamps. And that looks very good. So I will just do the same thing with the 4 other signatures and speed it up again. Okay, so now I've sewn all 5 signatures in. Yeah, so the stitching looks fine on the spine. It's actually pretty straight. I'm happy about that. But I don't know if I will be covering this up or not. I will make that decision at a later point. But here you can see the signatures are spread out evenly. And it looks to me like there's plenty of room. Now I'm worried that it has too much space because you do want it to get a little bulky, right? So I'm a bit worried, but I can always add plenty of envelopes and tip-ins and I think it will be okay. So maybe I'll just give you a very quick flip through so you can see what it actually looks like. One signature. Here's that envelope. Second signature. Third signature. Fourth. And fifth, and there you have it. That's our new junk journal, or my new junk journal. So if you've never given this a try, I encourage you to try it because it's a lot of fun and it's something so special and unique to have. Yeah, so let me know if you've tried this for the first time and let me know how it's going, okay? Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. Bye!